Good morning, Zio here, and today we're going to be talking about PlayStation. In fact, I think all week. Let me look for a second. I've got PlayStation, Switch, Cyberpunk, PlayStation, Sony. Yeah, I think this week is going to be just a Sony week for the most part. Sorry, but that's where a lot of the news is coming in at. So go ahead and grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax. I've got something on me that seems kind of nasty. Ugh. Anyway, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Anyway, as you might remember, we talked about this a while back. Sony, wow, I'll get it right eventually. Sony said that they were closing down the PS3, the Vita, and the PS stores. They're permanently closing, and how much of a dick move it was. Not the fact that the stores were closing, because I understand why they were going to close the stores. I should put that down. Like, I understand that from a business standpoint. You've got the PS3, you got the PS4 on its way out the door. You've got the PSP, the PS Vita, which both were, as much as I don't want to say it, failed systems, but they were, because Sony just can't, apparently. We talked about this, by the way, on the podcast. So, if you don't know already, every other Saturday, D-Pad Chad and I will be doing a podcast, Good Morning Gamers, where we just shoot the shit and talk about video games. So, if you missed it, it will be eventually put up on, I think, in multiple parts due to some technical issues with it, trying to get some things to render. But it will be up for you to watch if you want to watch it live. Check back Saturday on Twitch. But anyway, we talked about this then as well, how Sony kind of failed a bit here, there, and everywhere and all this other stuff, and they have all these ideas and they're great ideas, but then they just don't follow through with them. But yeah, I mean, I understand why they would shut down these stores, because for the most part they're old generation systems and they're done, right? There's no reason to really put forth resources maintaining those things, when for the most part, as much as I'd hate to say it, they're not that there's not a whole lot of people using. I mean, granted, there are. But, I mean, there are people using them, but not, it's not like the big thing. Everything's on PS4 right now, which, of course, has its own issues. We talked about that. And everybody's transferring to the PS5, and so on and so forth. However, due to fan outcry, Sony has apparently decided to reverse course on that decision. PlayStation released this tweet saying, PS Store update. Players will be able to continue purchasing games on the PS3 and PS Vita stores. But yeah, this thing, of course, talks about the PS3 and the PS Vita. However, I don't know if that means the PSP is going to actually go out the door instead. Let's see. I'm sure they talk about it somewhere in here, but anyway, we'll just quote. It's not a very, very long thing, so we'll just go ahead and quote this in its entirety. But according to the PlayStation blog from Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, recently we notified players that PlayStation Store, not Tour, store for the PS3 and the PS Vita devices were planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it is clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for the PS3 and the PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021 as planned. Okay, so the PSP, it is permanently out the door. However, they are going to continue to continue having the PS Vita, which I think the worst part about all of that, like, I understand why, right? They would want to take a system that just that isn't doing anything. I mean, granted, they didn't really do a whole lot of support with it to begin with, which is, in my opinion, one of the reasons that it mainly failed. But, there was a lot of indie developers out there still developing games for the Vita. You'd be surprised when you really start looking into it, how many people actually are developing games for the Vita, because PlayStation, in my opinion, didn't really support it. They put the system out there and said, here, and then was like, oh, we have a handheld? Are you sure? Okay. Anyway, so people were still developing on it, and then there was a lot of indie devs really concerned with the fact that their product isn't going to see release, or they're going to have to rush it to release it a few weeks early, or earlier than the deadline, so people can attempt to get a hold of a copy and all this other stuff. And Sony didn't bother to tell anybody ahead of time, just when they told the masses, because like I said, they kind of forgot the Vita existed, if you ask me. Anyway, back to it. Quote, when we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for the PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our games are playing on. We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on the PS3 and the PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep the piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue create cutting edge new game works for the PS4, the PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We'll always listen and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. Okay, that's cool and all, heartwarming. We always listen. Sony has a bad habit of not listening. Just saying. So if this is Sony, turning over a new leaf, that's cool. I greatly appreciate that. If not, it's just a bad a dead clock is right twice a day or something like that. So it's one of those issues. But hey, at least they're doing something good, right? In my opinion, I think that's the best way to go about it. But I do understand that there are concerns with, just providing support and keeping it up. They have to dedicate servers to it and all this other stuff and pay somebody to maintain these systems. So I do understand why they would shut it down. It sucks. It really does. It sucks when anything shuts down, and, that's the only way it can be, usable, is if the company keeps it alive, on its servers or whatnot. But for the most part, it is nice to see that the Vita will continue to operate as normal, which means those developers, I'm sure, are extremely happy that they no longer have to rush out the door or just hang up their dreams altogether when they were creating Vita titles and say, well, this isn't going to be done before they close, because it will continue to go out. However, the PSP, it was nice knowing you, buddy. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya!
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.